Hey guys, how's it going? Sure glad that you could join me again. It's awful good to see you. I wanted to take some time with you today because I wanted to talk to you just kind of one-on-one, from one alienated parent to another. Talk about things that only we would understand, that we would connect with. Because let's face it, a lot of the stuff that we go through, others, they just nod their heads and silently pretend they're understanding, but how can they? Let's face it. Unless they have lived parental alienation and gone through the pain and heartache that we have and do, they'll never understand. Now, that being said, for those of you who don't know me and you're watching this video for the first time, my name is David Shubert, and yes, I am an alienated parent, as I just mentioned, but I'm also the writer of Reflections. I write about the emotional turmoil and heartache that most, if not all, alienated parents go through when they lose their children. You can find me in most social media and even here. But aside from that, let's go back to what I was originally talking about now. Earlier today, I had some moments alone, and I was taking a trip down memory lane. I was thinking about those times before alienation entered my life. They were good times, actually. I enjoyed them, and I actually miss them. I remember with my children the bond that we had, the love. Boy, that was something special. I mean, when your child looks at you with such curiosity and unconditional love and trust, and there's just not a better feeling in the world, is there? You know what I'm talking about, because you felt it too. And then I was thinking also about those special moments we shared. I think about the times that we sat on the couch with our popcorn, watching a great movie and laughing and having a good time. I think about how their eyes lit up at Christmas time as they were undoing the bow of their present. I looked at them, remembering the candles on their cake as they were blowing them out. And again, the first time they hopped on a bicycle and I was teaching them how to ride it, or when I was putting Band-Aids on their knees when they fell off their skateboard. Can't bring back those moments, but I can keep them up here in my memory bank, where they'll stay safely guarded for as long as I live. Now, these are things that outsiders, our family, our friends, our co-workers, and others around us, they simply wouldn't understand because, let's face it, before alienation hit, before it invaded your life and mine, let me ask you a question. Did you ever know the term parental alienation? Had you ever heard it? Did you actually even know the definition of it? Well, I don't know about you, but I sure as hell didn't. But I got a rude awakening when that damn thing hit me smack in the face one day. Well, since then I've learned a lot. And I've gone through a lot, just like you have. See, a lot of folks that we try to relate to, they will never understand what it's like to lose your child. It happens in the blink of an eye. But yet, they think, nah, that'll never happen. It does. We witnessed to it. It happened to us. And we also went through all the emotional and psychological and all the other turmoil that goes with it. I remember how much it used to tear me up in the beginning. I couldn't even function. I really couldn't. I remember, and this is actually true, I remember when it first happened, when my children were gone, when they were first taken from me. I thought it had to be a game. In my mind, I actually thought my children were playing hide and seek. And I remember for the first 2 weeks, I was an emotional mess. And I had put myself in such of a state that I was thinking, no, this can't be real. It's not happening. It's just not. And so I actually wandered in my neighborhood. I didn't work at all for them first 2 weeks because I couldn't. There was no way I could function. But I would wander my neighborhood, and I was peering around corners. I was looking underneath bushes and behind them and everything else like that, expecting each time for my children to pop out somewhere and say, "Surprise, you found me." Well, I never did. But I kept hoping for those 2 weeks that it was true. And when I realized it wasn't, that's when the real pain set in. That's when I knew it was real. These are things that the non-believers, the outsiders, the people who have never experienced parental alienation will never understand. But what they should understand is that, just like them, we didn't believe that parental alienation could ever come into our lives until it did. You see, parental alienation is like a thief in the night. Parental alienation does not care if you're black, white, green, or purple. It doesn't care if you're a blue-collar worker. It doesn't care if you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, rich, famous. It doesn't matter. If parental alienation wants you, it's going to find you. There's not enough locks that you can put on your doors to keep it out. You can't shutter all the windows and hope that it'll stop it, because it will get inside your home and it will rob you of everything you want. And if it doesn't do it on the first time, it's going to go from room to room to room until it gets exactly what it wants, which is a revenge upon you for a failed relationship. It's going to rob you of your emotional being. It's going to rob you of your security. It's going to rob you of the bond that you had with your children and even the children themselves. And there's not a damn thing that you can do to stop it. Once it starts, there's no going back. Because the alienator knows what it wants. And it wants to get the children and to hurt you in the process. That's why alienation is so damn important to get the word out on. Because it destroys everything in its path. And a lot of folks, they kind of seem to think that, yeah, it'll happen to them. But you know what? It's only happening to them. It's happening to nobody else. That's wrong. Because you know what? The alienator also thinks the same thing, that it's only hurting us, that's because we're their target. But what they're forgetting is that it's hurting our children more than they can ever know. The short-term effects, the long-term effects, don't they realize they are destroying the soul of their children? They are stealing half of who our children are, half of the heritage that they belong to, half of their love they could have been receiving, half of who they could become. That's what alienation does. It robs not just the parent, but our children. Then again, think about the grandparents that are out there who've waited their entire life for their children to grow up so that they could have children and bounce those grandbabies on their knees and impart to them their wisdom that they've taken a lifetime to accumulate. Share with them the heritage that no one else can. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. What about your aunts, your uncles, your cousins? What about the neighbors down the street that the kids played with? Or their classmates? The teachers who taught them? What about the people they come to know and get close to at church? Alienation, it doesn't care. It has no conscience. It's there. It's always going to be here unless we get up and we start teaching people what it is and how much it's hurt us and how much it can hurt them. Well, until we rise up and we start making our voices heard even more, it's going to continue. It's not going to get any better. Let's face it. It's a multi-billion-dollar a year industry just in the United States alone. Everyone's got their hands in the pocket. Anything from the GALs, the therapists, everyone, the lawyers. They don't want to give up that gravy train. They don't mind that the money that they're making is riding off the backs of the suffering. We have to make change in here, but it's up to us. We're the ones who can only do that. Anyway, it's getting close to the end of this, but I just wanted to take this moment with you and share this with you. Hopefully, maybe someone out there that isn't going through parental alienation at this time will see this video, and they'll recognize what alienation is. They'll recognize what it does to you. They'll recognize that they're not immune, that it can come for you too. So until next time, I hope you guys take this into consideration. But if you liked my take on things today, I hope you follow me for some of my other videos. In the meantime, you guys take care. Bye.